Hello and welcome to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. And guys, I do apologize for getting this video out late again, but I've just been on Small Gun all day and I've not been able to get any decent battles. So I'm just uploading this one. It's pretty short, pretty one-sided, and it's not that interesting. So I'm up against a guy named Dean Blade, and if you have a YouTube, I'll link you. If you don't want this video up, I'll take it down for whatever reason. So as you can see, it's an NU match, and just pretty standard stuff, but as you will see, it's not actually very standard at all. So, without further ado, let's just get on with the battle. So, L3617 is going to lead off with his Braviary, as I have my Electrode, and as you saw in the team preview, he does have a lot of things weak to Electric because about half his team is Flying type for whatever reason. So he's just going to U-turn, and that tells me that he has Choice Scarf since he does go first. And this is a modest specs Electrode, and if that wasn't Scarfed, I would have been able to outspeed it. So his Sway Lot is going to come in, I'm just going to Thunderbolt it, and since those things are especially bulky, it's going to take it fairly well. But not really because I have a crit, so that is a solid 2-hit KO. So that's really unfortunate, and Blue Regard, Q Kazoo, goes down in the drain. So his Braviary is going to come back in and probably try to take out my Electrode, but I'm not going to have that, so I switch into my Metang, which is my Physical Wall and my Stealth Rock Setter upper guy. So, as he's locked into Thrash, I'm hoping that he gets a 3-turn Thrash so I could set up a Toxic and a Stealth Rock. So here I get the Toxic, thank God that I did not miss. So, as you will see later, he is going to get the 3-turn Thrash, unfortunately, and that is not going to be doing much to Metang at all. So 3 turns, and I get a Toxic off, and I get a Stealth Rock up. So, that's looking good for me, and I do believe that he's just going to switch out because that Braviary cannot do anything to this Physical Wall Metang. So he's going to go out into the Crippler, and this nickname for a Mesprit tells me that it has T-Wave, or it's Trick Scarf or some sort. So I see leftovers here, so I automatically know it's not a Trick Scarfer, so he's going to have Knockoff and T-Wave and other stuff that is going to try to hinder my Pokemon. So he knocks off my Eviolite, and pretty much now, Metang is dead weight, so I missed the Toxic. That's pretty much my signature thing to do, and he's just going to set up the rocks. And I was predicting him to switch out into his Braviary. That's something that's already Toxic, to absorb another Toxic, because I was predicting him to predict me to go for the Toxic, but he just stays in, so I just go for the Meteor Mash on him. So Thunder Wave is not going to matter at all, because Metang is really slow, slower than Stephen Hawking in a marathon. So I'm just going to Toxic that thing, thankfully, I get it off on that Mesprit, and this Mesprit is looking like the biggest threat to my team, because I just flippin' hate Mesprit so much, but I do salute you for using an original set. So, his Pelipper is going to come in, that's pretty lolzy, so I'm just going to Meteor Mash it, and that's not going to do much. It switched out, and I wasn't really predicting anything, so I just went straight away to get some damage off. So it's going to go for the Rain Dance, and that thing has Rain Dish and not Swift Swim, so thank God Pelipper does not get Swift Swim. If it did, then I don't know, who knows. So I'm just going to get a Toxic off, I don't miss. Thank goodness, and Rain Dish is going to restore his health. And I saw this is a set, this is Rain Dish, Hurricane, Hydro Pump, and probably Hidden Power or something. So he's just going to Hydro Pump my Metang, and since Metang doesn't have all that great Spec D, it's just going to go down, and that is a Rain boosted Hydro Pump. And for coming from a Pelipper, I mean, he's Pelican Fly. So, score is looking about 5-5 right now. If I did kill something, so I just send in my Mantine, and I didn't switch this thing in before because I just wanted to Metang to die. It didn't really serve any purpose on my team. So his Togetic is going to come in, and I'm just going to Hidden Power Flying that thing, not really predicting anything too much, just get some stab damage. I should have gone for the Scald because it is boosted in the rain. That's as you see, it's not going to do much damage either. I get that burn, but unfortunately, he's just going to go for the Heal Ball and heal the burn off that thing, and the Toxic off of his Braviary and off of his Pelipper. So that's why he was not really worried about statusing, and it's because that his Togetic does have the Heal Bell. So right now, it's pretty much at a stalemate. So I'm just going to switch out into something that could break the stalemate, and that is, my friends, is an Electrode. So he's just going to Wish here, and the rain stops, so that's pretty much good for Pelipper. Is going to set up rain again. So he's going to switch into his Mesprit, and I'm going to get a Thunderbolt off it, but since his Mesprit is really bulky, someone get this Manothosaurus, it's not going to kill, and that Wish is going to bring it back to pretty good health. But since Togetic does not have that good of an HP stat, it's not going to give it back all that much, so it's still in a pretty dealable range of health. So, my Gerda's going to come in and probably, like, take a T-Wave. I was predicting that T-Wave, and now that my Guts is activated, I could just start wrecking face on everything on his team, bar flying types, because, that's, like, practically none of his team, because most of his Pokemon are flying types. So he goes for the knockoff as I go for a Guts boosted payback, and that is not going to kill it, believe it or not. So, now that my defenses are crippled, I see what you did there. Girder's not going to be able to take many hits, because without Eviolite, its defenses aren't all that great. So his Psychic is not going to be able to take me out, but I spoke too soon. He gets a crit on that Psychic, which takes me out. So my Electrode is going to become able to come in and just take it out with the T-Bolts. So, and that's exactly what happens. So I outspeed that Mesprit because Electrode is a hamster ball that explodes or something. And everyone knows that hamster balls are the world's fastest animals. Anyway, so his Braviary is going to come in, and I'm not going to want to take a Thrash or a U-turn because either one of those moves would probably be able to take me out, so I just go into my Camera Up to take whatever hit he wants to throw at me. Since Camera Up, this is a rock polishing Camera Up, it's pretty hard to set up, so I'm just like, forget it, I'm not going to be able to sweep with this thing. So, I just fodder it out so I could just stall out these Thrash turns and do whatever may come. So I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch on that Braviary, and fortunately it does kill. I was kind of underestimating my Diana at this point because I haven't had much success with it in the past, but as you'll see, I have tons of success with it here. So I get the Mox boost, and he's just going to send in his Togetic to take a crunch, and so that's I get a useless crit there, and right now I'm at +2 thanks to Moxie, and this Mightyena is going to get off a sweep, spoilers, so his Pelipper is going to come in, and I'm just going to go for a Stab Crunch. That's probably my best bet at this point since I do not have the Thunder Fang. I have the Return instead to get better coverage, so I'm at +3, and I do believe that he's down to his last Pokemon, and which is his Jinx, and he's just going to forfeit at this point and leave with his dignity. So, if you guys enjoyed the battle, good for you, and hopefully I'll be able to get some better battles and better content out on time, so until next time, toodaloo.